This is the shootout between the Tippmann M4-22 and the Rock River Arms Lar-22. Course of fire, left target is going to be 4 5-round groups, CCI, standard velocity. Right target's going to be 4 5-round groups, SK rifle match. This is the Tippmann M4-22. Welcome to Behind the Trigger. Today's video is going to be discussing the Tippmann M4-22 versus the Rock River Arms Lar-22. Finally got a chance to get to the range the other day and do the shootout video. The Tippmann, little issues with the setup with the Tippmann just because of the short handguard and stuff like that. I did use a plate and I used a mechanical front rest. The biggest issue I ran into with the Tippmann in shooting this video, or the other video I should say, is I had to take my elevation screw out of my rest, so I couldn't get that fine elevation when I was shooting. So a little bit of complication with that. Could have affected performance a little bit. I don't think it's off that much. The other issue was when I'm shooting off the bench, generally I'm used to like a trigger that weighs in ounces and not 5+ pounds. So there's that. So there's some variations. The Tippmann definitely can shoot. I'm gonna work on it a little bit, try different setups, see if I can get it to perform better. No issues with feeding or running the ammunition. I shot both CCI standard velocity and SK rifle match. Both ran flawlessly through it. The Rock River Lar-22, little bit of issue, but also the design. The bolt's a lot heavier, and plus using the Arrow mil-spec trigger. It took a little more to reset it. They're both heavier also, but still I only had 2. It wasn't any like failed to feeds or failed to eject. It was just failed to reset the hammer, so no issues with that. Tippmann, like I said, I'm very impressed with the Tippmann so far. Am I glad I got the Lar-22 when I did? I am. The Tippmann's a great gun. It's just a dedicated 22. There's no swapping things around. There's only a handful of things you can swap around with it. But it's an impressive little gun, especially for the price range. I mean, between the Smith & Wesson MP 1522, definitely take the Tippmann all day. The Hammerly and the likes of the Tippmann, still take the Tippmann. The trigger's better overall. You know, it's a good gun. It runs good, no issues up to this point. Granted, you only have about 200 and some rounds through it, but it seems to feed and operate appropriately. Not going to go to the extent of putting an Elfman tactical trigger group in it, just because I can't see dropping that kind of money on the Tippmann. Now, like my Rock River, I do have a Elfman tactical trigger in that lower. However, seeing how the Rock River is mil-spec, for this test, I was able to take the upper receiver off the lower, and I put it on a mil-spec factory Arrow lower with a mil-spec trigger. That way I could do a little bit better comparison. Now, the other thing about the Rock River, because of the 20-inch barrel, I was actually able to position it a lot better in the rest. And you can see in the video, I have a little short video of my setup and how I shoot. And I don't have me shooting the gun, but the round, you can see the rounds hitting paper. But yeah, really impressed with the Tippmann. Definitely still would buy the Rock River, but I also bought it for a purpose because I wanted a true mil-spec 22 that if something happened, I could take the barrel out and the bullet and drop, you know, center fire cartridge in it. The Tippmann by far for the price, well worth the money. Take that way before Smith & Wesson. But it's just outside of their one design issue that I have with them, their magazines. It's a fine tool. It is. It serves a purpose. It's got some weight. Still not as, doesn't have the weight as of an AR-15, but it definitely has more weight than the Smith & Wesson. Also, it doesn't feel like a toy in your hand. I do like the fact that it has an actual buffer spring because you can feel that bolt hold up and kick up, and you know, and you can run with it there. Just shooting ARs, you can feel it. So the feel of it's there. Interchangeability parts may not be there like a mil-spec, but still a fine rifle, and I'm going to be doing plenty more shooting with it, and we'll kind of go from there. Till next time, guys, if you like what you see, subscribe.